Hi guys, I'm Alex from Bicycle Chain and I want to talk to you today about the 2018 Trek Powerfly FS7. First off, let's talk about e-mountain bikes in general. What is it that's making them so much fun to ride and why are they all of a sudden on the scene and they're so good? Well, for me, it's the combination of top class full suspension bikes and the seamless integration of really reliable, powerful and seamless electronic motors. A lot of these e-bikes now feature all the things you would expect to see on Trek's top full suspension bikes. So the knock block, the ABP pivot, which I'll go into in more detail in a minute, but they're all on this bike. So you've got, strip the electrics away, it's a superb full suspension bike. The motors now, they really don't detract from your cycling experience. They're there doing their job, making it more fun in a lot of cases. But you're still getting exercise and it's a very seamless thing. So these bikes blow people away all the time. They're great fun. So if you haven't tried one, get out there and give it a go. So let's talk through the spec of the bike first off. So this bike's running Shimano Dior disc brakes, SLX 11-speed shifter. It's got an XT cassette and rear mech. It's running a massive 46-tooth rear cassette, so you'll get up anything on this bike. So RockShox Recon RL front forks, Deluxe RL rear shock in the back of the bike, Sunringle Duroc rims, 650B wheel size in this bike, but it's 650B mid-fat as they call it, so it's a 2.8 tyre, so it gives you that really fast rolling speed, tons of grip, and you can run them at a nice low pressure to give you good rollover and things as well. Comes with a Bontrager dropper post, so you can get your saddle down out of the way nice and easy on the descents, put it back up to the right height on your climbs. Okay, so let's take a look at the frame features on the Powerfly. Now these all come really directly from Trek's normal full suspension range onto the e-mountain bike. So knock block, in a nutshell, knock block stops your handlebars swinging around in the event of an off. So it protects you, stops that bar coming round and clobbering you. Also, straight shot down tube. Trek have fitted an entirely straight down tube to make the bike stiffer. The downside normally with this would be that the crown of the fork can come around and damage the head tube. So knock block again, it stops that from happening. So Trek actually tested this by, I'm told, throwing bikes out of the back of a pickup truck at speed to see what combination worked and whether they could make it work. So these are replaceable. If you ever have a really big off and you snap one of the tabs inside, the headset cap basically slots over some tabs and it only allows a certain range of movement. Very simple system, but it works a treat. Frame also features Trek's MinoLink system. So what this is effectively a tab in the top of the swing arm that comes up at the top of the seat stay. You can twist it round and change the bike's geometry. So steeper head tube angle and a higher bottom bracket, or slacker and lower. So effectively, steeper and higher is going to give you faster turning bike, but might be tougher to descend on. It's not going to feel as stable, so obviously slacker's more stable but less responsive. So you've got some options there to change how the bike feels to suit you as a rider. Frame for this year also features Trek Active Braking Pivot, or ABP. It's a series of bearings in the rear swing arm where the axle goes through. It stops your suspension jacking up when your rear wheel's locked, so the suspension remains fully active even when the rear wheel's locked solid. Okay, so let's take a look at the electric aspect of the Powerfly. So this particular model is running the Bosch Performance Line CX motor. So that delivers around 75 Newton meters of torque, which is tons when you're off-road. It's a really punchy motor and it's delivered very seamlessly. So on the handlebar, you've got the Purion control on this model. It's very streamlined. All your basic information on the display, plus and minus to cycle through the various assist modes, and a walk button as well. Should you have an off and you need to get up something steep, you can push the walk button and it gives you a little bit of help to push the bike to the top of the hill. New feature for Bosch this year is the e-bike setting on the handlebar control. The idea with this is it's a fire and forget system, so you just leave it on that and it tailors the power to your riding as you go. So what that really means is you're not hammering through the different settings from eco to turbo when you hit a hill and then back again when you go downhill. The unit just deals with all of that for you and gives you a seamless assistance for the whole ride. All the Trek models this year feature the 500 watt-hour Bosch battery. It's the biggest available, so tons and tons of range from the battery in these bikes. It's also been integrated into the down tube on this model, as you'll see. Last year it was on top of the down tube. So this has dropped the weight slightly lower, looks much cleaner, so it's a win all round there. One of the questions we get asked is how far will my e-bike go, and it's very difficult to give you a definitive answer. Rider weight varies, terrain, the riding conditions, the setting people use their bikes on. That said, Bosch do have a range calculator or range assistant. So the idea with this is you can tailor it much more to the specific rider, bike and terrain, and it will give you as accurate as possible a range prediction. So we're here on www.bosch-ebike.com. So I've already set this up to reflect the FS7 and roughly my details. So you can put in your average speed, you can change the mode you're planning on riding on. Here we have the rider settings, so rider weight, cadence, and the e-bike system, so which power pack you're using, the type of bike, the tyres, and then obviously the environment as well, so how hilly it is. Now I've set this up to be really hilly, so you can see we're 55 kilometers on eco. If you were to ride everywhere on turbo, we're down to about 26k, so there's a massive range. If we were to change this setting to something a little bit more easygoing, we're 29k and we're 63k, so there's a fair amount of difference there. Okay, so to summarise, Trek have completely revamped this bike, a whole new frame, all the superb features of their full suspension line. The bike looks tons sharper, some great new features from Bosch. It's a fantastic e-mountain bike package. Thanks for watching, I'll speak to you soon.